Hello, and welcome to the Us Review. I'm Carla Davis Luster, your host. Here is where I discuss controversial relationship topics given the male and the female perspective when it is necessary. I always give a brief recap or reference to the previous week's topic, which was Season 1, Episode 10, Dating with a Purpose. Put a ring on it. Last week was not discussing how to get someone to put a ring on your finger, but more so based on a self-assessment and the importance of an assessment of the situation. You should ask these questions. Is it the right timing? Are you compatible? And are your values aligned? Those were just a few. So I invite you to go back and take a look and listen to the information. I think it will have a lot of value for you. Definitely if you are in that space trying to figure out your relationship. That's Season 1, Episode 10, put a ring on it. However, today is Season 1, Episode 11, another hot topic. Can social media affect your relationship? To answer that question, absolutely yes. Social media can connect people, but it can also cause pitfalls and conflicts. Definitely, if you and your partner disagree on how you present yourself as a couple and yourself on social media. According to a study and research conducted by Northwestern University, a percentage of individuals, those who post often about their partner on social media, actually felt insecure in their relationship. They had a need to paint a picture to the world of a power couple that's totally taken the world by storm. However, the image that these people and individuals are painting showed, and the things that they were showing was not always their actuality. It was a little bit of untruth in there, okay? So, once again, today I am going to share both some positives and opportunities of social media and its effects on a relationship. Now, before I do that, here are some historical facts that I'd like to share about social media. The first recognized social media site was called 6 Degrees, a platform created in 1997. The platform was very simple compared to the platforms as we know them today. How it worked was you could upload a profile and make friends with other users. Point blank simple, right to the point. Well, in today's world, social media have definitely become far more sophisticated, complex, and have expanded far beyond that today with multiple platforms to be a part of. Once again, today I'm going to share some positives and opportunities of social media that affect relationships. Good morning to everyone that's tuning in. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. This is Season 1, Episode 11. Can social media affect a relationship? So, you know that I always do a preface. I take that from my novel, The Woman Tells. And today, what I'm going to share with you from my novel is coming from Chapter 11, entitled His Surprise, His Secret, page 105, paragraph 1 and 2. For those of you who already have my novel, I'm going to hold it up like I always do and show you. It's The Woman Tells, okay? And then this is my newly released novel, I'm Not a Homewrecker Opportunist, maybe, and you can get both of them at Amazon. You can get them at barnesandnoble.com, on my website, which is askcarladl.com, or you can, if you're in Chicago and you're familiar with the 900 Bloomingdale's building, which I know everyone is, great shopping, guys. It's on the 5th floor at the Volumes Bookstore, once again, 900 North Michigan Avenue. For those who are coming into Chicago, visiting, traveling, whatever, go check it out, grab my novel. But to get it cooking, let's get to the preface. And that's going to be on page 105, chapter 11, His Surprise, His Secret. Let's see what it has to say. In life, sometimes the outcome can take a twist that you did not plan for. He called me to talk. The news was shocking. I found out his secret. I was not surprised in the least. Hurt, confused, perplexed, and mystified, but not surprised. Good morning, everyone. His actions had become distant and dismissive, but in the same breath, he was always speaking about how he wanted us to plan a future together. How nice. His words were that he loved me ever since he came into my life. Everything had changed. He had changed. He said that I was embedded in his heart and soul. All he had done was plan his future as if I would be with him. No other woman had measured up. Hello. He went on to say that in the midst of his lonely time, he had started spending time with Alice again. And now, if I didn't see a future with him, he was going to make it work with her. Ain't that some shit, right? Anyway, this morning, this is season 1, episode 11. We're talking about, can social media affect your relationship? And the question to that was absolutely yes. However, relationships can be very fragile, as we all know it. Definitely those in the early stages where communication, the need to feel like you have your partner's interest, and mental inclusion are very, very important. The problem with social media in this case, it can consume you for lots of time. This can be a big problem when your partner is one that likes attention. You know, if you got one of those people that like attention, that's going to be a problem. They may very well feel like they have to compete with social media, with you and your phone, and you're always on your phone and you're always doing this for social media. They feel like they're competing, right? With that being said, this is the first opportunity I would like to discuss that was identified during my research as one of the most significant triggers that cause conflict in a relationship when couples were surveyed, okay? When they were surveyed, when I did my research or whatever else, the things that I'm going to call off, and I'm going to call off probably maybe 10 or 12 of them, and then we're going to move on, are things that, according to social media, that cause conflicts in relationships. Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. We're season 1, episode 11. Can social media actually affect your relationship? So the first one that came about, it was like decreased quality time with your partner due to excessive usage of social media. Now, keep in mind, anything that's excessive can be a problem. I don't care what it is. It can be overeating, overly spending money, just whatever else. Anything in excess can become a problem. And definitely something that, you know, if your partner is trying to spend time with you, that's going to be a problem with you. You know, you're always on the phone and stuff like that. And I've even got hit up with about, you know, why are you always on your phone, you know? And sometimes that phone thing can be misconstrued as maybe you're doing something else. However, it takes a lot of work to build, you know, a platform, to build up your pages and everything like that. I get it. However, with this saying that, you know, it's decreased quality time, there is a method to your madness. You have to maybe plan it out, schedule it out, you know, maybe take, you know, so many hours, and there are platforms and apps that can help you to schedule them and post them, and they actually run for you. But once again, it was listed that the quality time piece was an issue, which would definitely cause dissatisfaction in a relationship. Then it went on to say less personal interaction, and all of this kind of go hand in hand because, you know, obviously if your partner's busy or your spouse or whatever you call them, and I'm just using partner, and that is will cover any type of relationship is what I'm trying to do. I can't just, you know, every time I say something, list them all out, but your partner, less personal interaction, and all of that is going into the timepiece. Now, here's one, the third one that I'm going to name off it was less privacy, definitely if you are posting about your relationship. And I want to say, you know, it's okay to post about your relationship. You have people that build a whole platform around their family, their relationship, and what they do and stuff like that. However, you have to be careful on the information, how it's presented, the actual information, how it's presented, and that you and your partner, your whole group, or if you got an agent or whatever, you have to be on one accord and understand, you know, that you're opening this up to the public. So everyone should be comfortable on what is actually posted. However, that was listed as one of the things that cause conflicts in relationships. Discussing personal problems. That's even getting even more deeper. Like if you're you have a problem. I've seen people do a poll where, well, you know, they'll state what happened within their relationship. And then they'll take a poll. Do you think he was right or was I right? You're opening your relationship up for scrutiny. You're opening your relationship up for everyone to have an opinion about it and an opinion about it. And then that's not good. So that was one of the things that was listed, you know, discussing your personal problems. Now, once again, I did say that there are people that, you know, their whole platform is based on family, whatever, which is amazing. I see some amazing things on there. It's the things, the outliers that cause the problems. Now, here is a really big one, and I think this, some of the stuff that I read, it spills more over to the younger generation. However, I agreed and disagree with it that this one that I'm about to talk about, it can affect anyone. Definitely one that is possibly insecure and unhappy with themselves. And let me talk about it. It's depression due to a lack of self-love caused by perceived poor body image due to negative comparison of the images or perfect people posted on social media whom people are trying to be like. It's, I gotta say, it's amazing people in there. You got some sisters out there and just females out there, man. They have banging bodies. They have got their stuff together. You got the men out there, with the muscles and all that kind of stuff. However, this paints a image that you have these younger people or anyone, looking at that you're trying to be like, and you're not feeling like you're measuring up or whatever else. Keep in mind, I always say everyone is beautiful in their own way. You have your own style, your own thing. Let whatever works for you and whoever you are, once again, let that be you, because you are unique in yourself. God made you in his image, and he made you how he wanted you to be. So I just, for those people that get caught up in that depression and I'm not measuring up and trying to look like this one and trying to look like that one, I just really hope that you find a peace within your heart that, hey, I'm just as good as anybody else, and just stand on that. But once again, the depression piece was listed as one of the things that affect relationships. Now, how does that affect a relationship? Because I've talked about just the individual being depressed because they're comparing themselves to other people. Now, if your partner is depressed, that's going to affect the relationship because they're not going to be in the right mood. They're not going to want to do anything. It's probably going to affect the intimacy. So depression will spill over into the relationship, and this was listed as one of the things as far as the behaviors and whatever else that comes forth out of that depression. That is something that can affect the relationship. Now here's one, and I need everyone to listen to this because this is very important. The next one that was listed was employers are now checking people's social media to see what you've been doing out there. Hello, good morning. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in. This is season 1, episode 11. Can social media actually affect your relationship? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Now, let me say this. The next one that I'm going to list is employers now checking to see what your social media page look like. Now, I will tell you that is true. I researched it, and so all the stuff that I research and see and read up on or whatever to be able to give you and talk intelligently to you about a subject, I don't always agree with. You gotta pick and choose what you're gonna believe, what you do, and whatever your self preservation is, that's what you do. However, this one is true because I know a friend that got in trouble, for emails and the social media, some of the posts that was on her page. And she happened to be a very, big, a person that of very good standing and had a high position in the company, and they looked at her social media page. I don't know if it was a mistake or whatever else, or they misconstrued it, but they looked at her page and it was a big to-do about that. She really had some issues behind that, Keep in mind, if you are looking for a job, they're going to look for that. So, depending on, you get the social media models and everything else that are out there. That's what they do, and that's their world. So anyone that they're looking for a job for in the world that they're in, that suits it, But if you are trying to be this corporate Wall Street type of person or whatever you're trying to do, and it don't fit that, how your page is posted, keep in mind, they could very well look at your page. So that was one I wanted to bring forth that was listed that could actually be an issue, Now, how does that affect relationships? I have to keep bringing it back to the relationship. Keep in mind, if you are, you're in a relationship, you're looking for a job, that means that you need money. You're trying to find, you're trying to get some income. If people are looking at your social media page, not taking you or hiring you, that's a problem. That's how it's affecting the relationship. If by chance you are already working like my friend or whatever else and you get fired or something like that, that could affect you financially. So the employer thing is more getting into the effects of that, being on social media. That's how it would affect the relationship. Good morning, season 1, episode 11. Can social media actually affect your relationship? And the question is yes. And I'm going through the opportunities that I researched and found. I'm not going to go through all of them. However, I'm just naming off about 10 or 12 of them. Confronting people on for the world to see. And I got a story that, I run a business, a UPS store that I will tell you. And sometimes people don't like, the policy that I have to hold, or the policy or different standards that we have, and we can't go beyond. Now, there is always the gray. There's always, black and white that you got to follow. I've had some, a particular person go out on what social, the Google Yups and all that kind of stuff. I make my own decisions. I'm just going to be very honest. I guess it's great for some people that want to follow up and look at stuff. But if it's something I want to do, I'm not going to let something dictate to me what I'm going to do. That's with movies or anything. Let me be clear. But they were, confronting people on social media and stuff like that. If you got a problem with somebody, pick up the phone, do whatever. Don't be all out on social media arguing, because you think it's cute and it's not. I think it makes both of you look bad, but once again, this was something that was listed, for an issue. Now, how does that affect a relationship? It affects a relationship because you both have to be seen together. Sometimes people bring in your family. It just can spiral out of control, whereas it will affect, and your mood and everything else. Once again, it goes back to, you bring that home, you bring that within the relationship. So that was one that was listed. Good morning again. Misconnections due to, the amount of time, and we've talked about time on social media and whatever else, due to, you're preoccupied or whatever else. Now, social media can actually trigger feelings of envy and jealousy due to attention one's partner may be receiving. It could be a post that, maybe your partner's not in it or whatever. Or, you may be, your partner may be one that's on social media all the time, and they are getting people hitting them up, sending them messages. I've gotten messages or whatever else, but it's the way that you handle it. It's the way that you are like, transparent, and that you are, you got to be honest, what's going on, and you got to handle that stuff very professionally. However, it has been said that jealousy or envy, and obviously that's going to be an argument or something within a relationship. Conflict stemming from disagreements or hurt feelings on what is acceptable on social media. Here's one: perceived to be single as opposed to being in a relationship. Maybe you're just posting yourself, and the way you're posted up out there, people think you're single, and your partner could think that you're like enticing people to come at you with the way that it is. So it's just a matter of being on one page, communication, having that understanding. But once again, here, there's another one: perceived single relationship status. And last but not least, this one that I saw, it takes a lot of preparation to manage a page, get posts, get content, or whatever else. Everyone that's out there understands this whole thing. Now, with doing that, you're taking photos, you're doing things or whatever. And I got to lean this one more towards, your partner could possibly have an issue with, the content with you. Maybe you're taking pictures with other people and it's not just about your relationship. Or, they may have an issue if you're a female, the photographer is a guy, or vice versa. Anything could just the way people think, anything could become big. I always say a pea could become a watermelon if it's not handled appropriately and your partner does not understand. So that communication, back to that, and having an understanding about it is fine. And then once again, you have to time it out. Just be organized with it. Don't just sporadically, just what all, you're trying to do something, have a date night and you're on your phone or whatever else. Be present, be attentive. Once again, this is season 1, episode 11. We're talking about, can social media actually affect your relationship? And the question to that is absolutely yes, if not handled appropriately. So with that said, let me say this: Spencer Palmer Christensen, the School of Communication, BYU Master of Arts, conducted a study, and their findings show that a large majority of individuals throughout the world that own a smartphone, which probably everybody in the world, starting with little children, own a smartphone, actually assess social media on a daily basis. Okay, so that's kind of almost a gimme, right? They go on a daily basis. Now, here's the point. Because of this digital attachment, the author that actually conducted the study sought to understand how this affected or impacted users' emotional well-being in their offline interpersonal relationships, getting back to how does social media affect your relationship. And it's getting back into that time because, once again, they're on their daily. And so this is a survey. This survey was conducted. They had 627 participants. Now, here are the results. The results revealed that The more time that users spent on social media, the more likely they were to experience a negative impact on their emotional well-being, and that getting into that depression thing, you're seeing people and you're trying to measure up, all of that is going into it, the effects of it. And decreased quality in their relationship because they're so in tune with that. They're not paying attention and putting anything into the relationship that they have. Good morning again. This is season 1, episode 11. Can social media actually affect your relationship? Yes, it can. So once again, as we know, like I said, anything that's excessive can result in a negative impact. Nevertheless, if used appropriately and kept in perspective, it can be a great tool, because I am a very big fan of social media. Now let's talk about some of the positives. We talk about the opportunities and things of the sort. Everything always have an opposite effect as well. So we're gonna talk about the positives. Let's talk about that on social media. When I did my research, there were no real attributes specifically for relationships on however your partner is good. Here's the thing, there were no real specifics. However, if your partner is good and understands the reasoning why it is important to be present on social media, then here are some definite positives that you and them, you guys as a couple, could experience some positivity and some great things from social media. Because in all honesty, social media, although I named off some of the opportunities and things that can affect you negatively, here are some of the positives, okay? If you are in business, let me say that, like entrepreneurs, professionals, whatever, if you are in business, you definitely want to be present and have to be present because it gives you the ability to connect with your audience, connect with customers, get additional customers, or whatever else. So this helps you to build your business, okay? And it helps you to be present, your advertising, your branding, so all of those things are positive. You can actually, here's another one, you can evaluate your performance. You can assess your audience interest. If you have a product, let me talk about that, and you're trying to tweak it and find out how you can make it better, or should you take something away, or whatever it is to build this product out to make it be successful. Social media is a way to, you can poll and do everything out there where you can tweak your product that it's more suitable and more attractive to more people to buy it, okay? So it gives you the opportunity to make adjustments as needed and accordingly. Now, here's a great one, totally about the relationship, long distance relationships. When they surveyed a bunch of couples that were, part of my research reading, whatever, when they were surveyed, people that are dating long distance, I can't say that I was ever a fan of that, but hey, if you're doing it, you're doing it. When surveyed, it came back that social media was actually kind of like a godsend for them. It was a great way for them to connect. It was the next best thing to them being present, with each other, because you can see each other, like I'm looking at you now, or you looking at me. Zoom and all these different things gave them the ability to be able to connect beyond the telephone, because years ago you just be on the phone for hours or whatever, and doing whatever else, sex phone for calls or whatever. Needless to say, this gives you the ability to actually look at the person or whatever. So it allows you to connect and speak to the person. Stronger communication is what it was said to be. Now, here's another thing. One of the positives. Outside recognition and instant gratification from people liking and commenting on your posts. Who doesn't want to be patted on the back and told that you're doing a good job, or, that you look nice, or something is nice, or this is a great product, or whatever else? Everyone likes to be, rewarded or recognized at some point. If you say that you don't or whatever else, then okay, but, it's nice if it can happen. Okay, so that was one, just getting the recognition and things of that. Now, here's another one that's a really huge thing. It's a cost-effective way to reach a lot of people as opposed to spending a whole lot of money. And I'm going to get to, when you do spend money or whatever on social media. However, if you're doing all your posting, you're doing all of the things that you need to do, you're doing the uploading, you're creating content or whatever, and you're not spending any money, and you are the sole person that's doing that, then hey, that is a great way to spend money and to advertise and brand and market yourself. So it said that, it was a great way to save money and reach people. The opposite of that, well, it's not really the opposite. Also, social media gives you the opportunity to do paid advertisement and ads and run ads and boost posts or whatever. But here's the great thing about it when you're doing it on social media, a positive, is that you get to control, how much you actually spend and how often that you're going to boost something or whatever else. Typically, when you like hook up with a PR company or a management company or marketing company, there are fees and different like costs that are associated with that could very well be a lot more expensive than you managing your own budget and doing your own thing on social media. So that is a positive as well. Once again, you're having this great audience and you're able to do all this content is really great. It's like having, let me say this, it's like having an agent and possibilities of work in business and career without having to spend the money, right? And then keep in mind, the more visible you are, there are definitely chances for someone to see you, pick you up, do business with you, whatever else, because you're in the forefront. Keep in mind, today is season 1, episode 11. Can social media actually affect your relationship? And the answer, once again, is absolutely yes. There are positives and negatives to, being on social media. So you have to just take it all in stride and just make sure anything handled appropriately is going to be great. When you mistreat it or do like weird stuff or whatever, you're going to have opportunities. In conclusion, through social media, you can enhance, sustain, and create new friendships, business, new leads, and much more. As far as the relationship goes, hopefully you can establish communication and a sense of inclusion or an understanding with your mate on what you are trying to accomplish when it comes to social media. It's always great for the relationship when you have the support of your significant other. Most definitely, if it's a huge part of what you do, let them be involved somehow. If nothing else, maybe let them critique you. By doing so, anything that could possibly feel threatening or inappropriate to them could be discussed before it's posted. And then it isn't that you're trying to explain it after the fact, you catch it before it actually happens. However, anything you do and any form of exposure socially can be harmful if not presented and handled in the right manner. I would suggest limiting or closely monitoring how much exposure about your relationship you give to the public in general. But some people are more freer and more open. It's your choice, but just, monitor it so that both of you are feeling comfortable and that both of you are in a good place when that is happening. Social media is not a place to air your dirty laundry. Disagreements and arguments between you and your partner should stay behind closed doors. That is my recommendation to, limit the confusion and, all of the conflict that you could possibly have centered around social media. Once again, if used appropriate, it can be a great tool that could benefit the relationship, especially if you got products out there and you're doing things and stuff like that, especially financially. And that's, I gotta say, probably 95% of the people that are out there, that's the end goal. Okay? So this is the show today, short and sweet, however informative. This is the Us Review Season 1, Episode 11. Can social media affect relationships? Yes, they can. In a positive way, and you can have some opportunities if you don't handle it right. I'm Carla Davis Luster, your host. Don't forget to follow me across the platforms at Ask Carla. You can purchase my novel at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, AskCarlaDL.com, and the 900 building, Bloomingdale building, 900 North Michigan Avenue on the 5th floor at the Volumes Bookstore. And until next week or until next time, please, like I always say, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please try to create an amazing day. Thank you and have a wonderful one. Bye-bye.